All right, Robert, this is your new home. Give us a tour. How did this all come about?
Look, we outgrew the gym where we were at. It was a private property. It was a nice gym. We were there for 10 years, but we outgrew it with the pros and the amateur program. Too much traffic, too much parking was getting a little crazy over there because it's a private property. So I started looking around for a different location, a bigger location, a public location, and we got connected with the mayor, Ulises, and he told us, look, there's a few places. He gave us a few places, but he says, but I recommend you guys look at the mall. And I'm thinking, like, the mall, how's that gonna work? Like, people go shopping to the mall, how can they go to the gym? He's like, no, you gotta look at this place. It's right, the first building to the parking lot, you got your own entrance, your own. So I came in and I'm like, oh,
what was this before? Do you know?
This was just like a regular clothing store, whatever. Yeah.
So there's a process of moving out and then moving in to do these fancy things like the floor here,
Crazy,
the ring, and you got all of this stuff, all of the photos here. How long did that take, the process of moving in?
We started in March of last year and we opened March of this year, so it took a year. It took a year. When I first came here with the mayor, like I told you, and my friend James, who is the one that helped me with the leads and everything. Then I partnered up with Oliver, who came in and had a different idea. He's the one that told, look, I got a vision. I got to get old pictures of you. I got to, because I want to do something different in your gym. And he came, the stars, all this, with all the world champions that I've had, Fernando Vargas, Lupe, one of my first champions. You know what I mean? And then all the pictures are here. Look. Yeah. Those are pictures when I was young with Oscar De La Hoya, when I won my title, when I was that's Pita right there, just pictures from the past, my first trophy when I was 5 years old. That's me right there, when we were amateurs, my dad, so he said, I want to do something. Then this area right here is what I like. This ring right here, it's Riyadh season in the back, the stadiums in the back. Then we have Madison Square Garden here. Over there we have the MGM. It's like the three biggest, arenas where fighters can say, I want to be there one day. You know what I mean? So it took a year, but now we're here.
Robert, you had been at the other place in Riverside for a while, and you grow attached to it.
Yes.
Was it tough to leave?
Look, no, it wasn't, because
you came here.
One thing that for many years, one thing that I learned from my dad, and my dad always, because my dad in Mexico, Mexico is just a different world over there. He grew up having to move from one place to another because of work, whatever, with his parents, moving from one state to the other, from one city to the other, and since I was growing up, my dad always reminded us, look, every time I've moved from one place to another, it's always been for a better, for good, for something better, and I've never looked back. And I kind of always had that in my mind. Leaving Oxnard to come to Riverside wasn't hard. It was, it sucks, because that's where I grew up. But it was like, nah, let's make that move, and we made it, and we never looked back.
It's progress.
So same thing with with the gym. Okay, I loved my gym in Oxnard, bro. I loved it over there. But coming over here, things have been better. Right? Things have worked better. Now from Riverside to Moreno Valley. Look at this, I can't get any better, man. All this I have right here is unbelievable.
This is inside the Moreno Valley Mall, and it's a big one. The foot traffic must be incredible for you.
It's insane, Right now with the pros, it's a private, people come in and watch it, check it out, but it's private workouts. But after 4 o'clock is when it's open to the public. Yeah, it's packed. It's packed.
Home sweet home.
Yeah, and look, and we have a good program with the city. Yeah. Where we have a group of kids that come in, that can't afford a membership, stuff like that. So we teamed up with the city, and I'm glad that Ulises Cabrera was able to put this together with the city. And look, it's working out. It's perfect.
Would you have preferred Bam coming off the November fight, fought a little bit sooner than July?
100%, and that's the thing, that we were promised a fight in May. And that didn't happen. We were told the second or third week of May, didn't happen. Then we go to June, we're thinking, okay, June is gonna be our date, because I was told June 20th or 21 was gonna be our date. But then we learned that they gave it to the
Richardson Hitchens.
Richardson Hitchens. We're like, all right, well, fuck it then. Well, but now we got a date, and it's a unification. That's what Bam wants. Maybe the unifications were not available in June also. So I don't, I'm not saying it wasn't. I got to blame somebody.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen. But now we have the unification. Cafu is on board to fight, and the fight's happening July 19th in Dallas, which I would have loved him to fight before that, because he like I even told Matchroom, Hitchens fought December 24th, I think 24th, 25th, right on the Christmas days, and he's fighting before Bam. When Bam fought November, 3 rounds only. Same night as Boots Ennis. Boots fought 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So Bam should have fought, but like I said, the unification, that's all Bam wants, the unifications. So maybe the unifications weren't around for April or May or June. July it is, so now we're good. But now I know we're fighting one more time before the end of the year.
Vergil Ortiz, when do we expect him back?
Look, Virgil is his dad was actually here yesterday, and we've been going back and forth with Rick and Golden Boy, and something big's coming for him. Should be, in the next few weeks we should know exactly the final fight, who and where and everything, but it's gonna be within 3 months.
Okay.
No more than 4 months that he fights again.
Final question, and you can't include any of the guys you train, because we know you think highly of them. Name me a fighter that impresses you when you watch him fight and you're like, wow, that guy's really good.
I never mention my fighters because I don't want to, I not counting my fighters. I think that, I can't even think of his name, the kid that took the main event spot on Keishan's card. I think he's headed
Abdullah Mason.
Abdullah Mason. That kid could really fight. I really like that kid. He's a very talented kid. He looks humble. When he was going back and forth with Keishan in the press conference, he wasn't even he didn't disrespect nobody. He said, when my time comes, I'm working my way there. I think he's a very talented kid.
Actually, this will be the final question. Things get heated in boxing, and then we heard about what happened with the Davis brothers, and now here Albright. Have you ever gotten in a situation like that, or is that why you bring people with you? I mean,
look, especially the fighters should never be involved in stuff like that, but it happens.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know if there was anything said, behind. You're heated up. My brother just lost. Something. It's part of boxing. Especially if I don't know what happened, but if Albright's people or something said something disrespect for something, then obviously they're all gonna get heated. You already heated because your brother lost.
Yeah.
So any little thing's gonna trigger to make it worse. So it happens in boxing, it's happened before. It's not the last time that we see something. It doesn't look good, especially for somebody like Keishan who already missed weight, who already looked like really bad for everything he's saying, and now he misses weight, and now this makes it worse. But it doesn't, it's not something that won't happen again or has never happened before.